In this video, I'm going to show you how you can change the site icon or favicon on your WordPress site. And not only that, I will also show you some other best practices and considerations when it comes to choosing a site icon for your WordPress sites. But before we start, I want to let you know that the tutorial section in this video is only for third-party WordPress themes. The reason of that is because first-party WordPress themes like 2022, 2023, 2024, and possibly future versions have employed a site-wide editing principle. Basically, the way you are editing on first-party themes is different compared to traditional WordPress themes. So unfortunately, I cannot cover the tutorial for first-party WordPress themes because they are just a bit more complicated and will make this video too long. But I probably will cover that in the future videos. With that being said, here's how you can change the site icon on most WordPress sites. Let's get started. Okay, I have this logo that I have created on Canva, and one of the best practices is to make sure that your logo is simple but recognizable enough that people can associate that with your brand. And I think this is the area that most people overlook because they're just using a very complicated logo and they just insert that as a site icon. That is probably not the best way to go. So I want to give you an example from a site like Nothing. Yeah, it's actually a brand new font. So as you can see here, their site icon is just a simple red dot, but their actual logo that they are often using on many digital media is this letter, this word Nothing. Definitely they cannot use it for a site icon because site icon is usually square and they cannot just make something rectangular into square. So what they did instead was just pick an element from the logo. For example, just a simple circle and then they make it into the logo. I think that is definitely one valid approach to make a complicated logo simple. Another approach is to take the first letter of the logo, for example, the letter N, and then you can isolate it and then you can turn it into a site icon. I think that's also a logical way to make a site icon. So that is just one example. All right, I'm going to download this site icon to my computer, but I want to let you know that in WordPress, you can use a site icon that is as little as 32 pixels, but it is recommended to have something that is at least 256 pixels, or if you prefer, you can also go to 512 pixels, which is big enough. So if someone, let's say, create a shortcut of your website on their desktop, the site icon will appear big, crisp, and sharp. So that is the benefit of using a much bigger site icon. In this example, I'm going to use 500 pixels, which is still a reasonable size. I will also enable transparent background. This is the area that I'm going to discuss a bit more later on. But for now, for a demonstration, I'm going to pick a transparent background and then click download. Okay, it has been downloaded to my computer, and as you can see, the size is 11.8 kilobyte or almost 12 kilobytes. It is still considered to be small, but you can make it smaller by compressing the image. Okay, the tool that I recommend for compressing quality images is tinypng.com. In my opinion, this is the best image compressor that is free and the result is high quality. So I'm going to upload my logo to tinypng. Okay. It reduced by 66%, so from about 12 kilobytes to just 4 kilobytes, which is a massive amount of reduction. So I'm going to download that to my computer. Okay, now we can upload this site icon to your WordPress site. So go to your dashboard and then click Appearance, click Customize, and then find the menu called Site Identity. Click on the select site icon and then you can start uploading the file to your site. So I'm going to upload the logo that I have created and then you can click select. Now WordPress will offer you to crop the new icon, but this is optional. You can just skip the process. So I'm going to skip cropping and you can click publish. The change has been applied to the site and you can tell that the default W letter has been replaced with this new site icon. You can click X to go back to the dashboard. Please do keep in mind that if you're using a caching plugin, it might take a few minutes or sometimes even a few hours for the change to be reflected on your live site. One way to speed up the process is by clearing the cache. So I have changed the site icon on my WordPress site and I think it looks amazing. but there is probably a problem. On my computer, it looks great, it looks awesome. But imagine if people are using dark theme or different color browser and it makes the logo to be less visible. I'm going to give you an example by enabling dark theme on my browser. So as you can see, the site icon is almost not visible. It is difficult to see from afar, and I can tell that this is probably not the best way to present your logo or your site icon. That's why earlier I mentioned that the decision between transparent and solid background is very important. So if we go back to Canva, I can choose to use a solid background for my logo. So I'm going to not enable transparent background. So this logo or site icon will have white background. I'm going to try to use this new version. So now there are two versions. There are one version, this is the old logo that is not very visible when I'm enabling dark theme on my browser. And there's another version with a solid white background. So regardless of what browser theme I'm using, the logo stays visible. And this is actually a clever approach that is being taken by many brands. I'm going to give you some examples here. So I have this website. We have OpenAI, Google, Rabbit, and then The Verge. All of them have different ways to approach their site icon. Google and OpenAI are more or less the same because they are using solid logo. On the other hand, there are brands like Rabbit and The Verge that choose to just show their logo with a simple color and no solid background. I'm going to turn on the dark theme and you will see what's going to happen to them. So just remember what they look like on a light theme, and I'm going to enable dark theme. And there you have it. OpenAI stays more or less the same because they are using black background, so the differences is not that much. But on Google, you can tell that how useful solid background really is on their site icon. On Rabbit, this is actually interesting because even though they are not using solid background, because the shape rabbit is recognizable, people can still tell that that is the logo, and they can get away without using a solid background. But on The Verge, it is probably the worst one because I almost cannot see the site icon because their logo is purple and the background is dark, so it's almost invisible. So that's why maybe using a solid background is probably most of the time will be the best approach for your logo. So that's basically two approaches when it comes to choosing the design or style for a site icon. You can choose transparent or solid background. It is totally up to you, but make sure that the site icon is visible regardless of the browser theme that people are using. So that is how you can change the site icon on your WordPress sites. Given that you're watching this video, I presume that you are still setting up your new WordPress site. So I highly recommend to check out this video where I explain 6 settings every new WordPress have to change. Check that out.